Hi, my name is Pinky and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. I appreciate your support. If you are new, welcome. If you like this video, please hit like. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe and also hit the notification button so that you can be notified when one of my videos go live. So my videos are about how to and great finds. So today we're going to do a how-to. So I posted several videos on Facebook with pieces that I did, old pieces that I turned into mirrored furniture, just totally glammed them up, and everyone liked them and sent me a couple of messages saying, hey, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? So at that point, I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually give out my information because I didn't know if I wanted to sell them or not, like go into business or whatever, selling mirrored furniture or do whatever, side job, whatever. But I thought about it and I thought, no, that's not something that I want to do. I don't want to make a bunch of furniture and then people don't like it and nobody buys it. Or I didn't want to take someone's furniture from them that they want redone and they don't like it, and then I've ruined their furniture, and that's never ideal. So I just didn't want to put myself in that place, and so I just said, no, forget it, I'm not going to do that. So that's great for you because I am now going to share how I make them and the items that I use and the process that I use to get it done. So first I'm going to show you a couple of pieces that I did. I just want you to see, the work that I do so that you can see how awesome my work is. And then after seeing that, you're going to want to know how I do it because it's awesome. I say awesome a lot. I noticed that. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to show you the two pieces that I did, the before and afters, and then we're going to start with the tutorial. It's going to start with me actually getting the furniture. So I'm going to buy a piece, put it in the garage, and then I'm going to show it to you, and we're going to go through my whole thought process, how I decide what I'm going to do with it, and where I buy everything, and how I get it done. So this is your lucky day. Stay tuned. I have a lot of information to share. Now, I'm not saying it's the professional way or anything like that, This is just me trying to do it. So don't say, oh, I looked at another video and they varnished and did this, that. No, I do what works for me. And if you like it, then it can work for you. Okay? All right. So I'm excited because you're now going to be able to make awesome blingy furniture like me. So let's get started. So this is the first piece that I did. Isn't it gorgeous? Let me get it back up. It's pretty. And here is the second one that I did. Bling, 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 bling. Yes, honey. Fabulous, if I should say so myself. I did two of these. I bought one, I just went ahead and got the other. Because, you can't separate babies. That's just wrong. They grow up and meet each other and get married and have children with 3 heads and they wonder what they did wrong. So you have to keep them together. They need to know that they're family at all times. So yeah, let me turn it this way. Fabulous. So here's the piece. We just got it home. We got it from Facebook Marketplace. As you can see, it's pretty bruised up. So I will consider this one a rescue. This is, I think, the worst shape I've had one in. But it's cool. It's gonna be so fabulous when I finish. I mean, really look at it. It's really different. This is a coffee table and it's very, very different. I like it, and it has wheels also, which is a nice little extra. So, gonna spend a little time getting to know it first before I do anything to it, so I can figure out how I want to bling it up. So there's step one, get your piece, and there it is. So here we are. Thought I'd take this time to sit with my new rescue and get to know it. See what it's been through, see what it needs, see what I can do for it. Hi. Poor baby, you look like you've been used and abused. But Pinky is here. Pinky is here. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna make you so fabulous. You won't even recognize yourself. So one thing you're gonna have to consider when you're doing this is how much glass you're gonna need, what mirror you're gonna need. Because the mirror that you buy comes in sheets, already preset sizes. So because this is a big old 3x3, I know that the place where I get the mirrors from, they do not come that big. So this is a great opportunity to become creative and do something extra with your tabletop. So I'll need to scout out different types of bling that I want to add to fill in where I can't fit all of the mirror. It will look a little crazy with a bunch of different sections of mirror. So you want to get some fillers or something to make it look like you meant to do it that way. So that's important. And you also have to make sure that you don't have little teeny pieces. It's really hard to cut little pieces of glass. It's like only certain sizes they can cut in the store. For some of my pieces, I had to come home and have my husband do it, which was crazy. So this one doesn't look like it'll be too bad. I don't think I'll have a problem with any little pieces. So I just have to do some research, look around, see what I can find that will fit really nicely along the top. Because, you know, unfortunately, you may have to get two big pieces and cut them into 2 or 4 or whatever. You just have to cut it up and make it work however you can. So that's what I'm gonna do also, sit out here and see how I can configure the glass to make it work. Okay, so I've decided what I want to do with it and cleaned it off, sat with it, got to know it. We're now best friends, and it trusts me to turn it into the beautiful butterfly that I know it can be. So the first thing I did was I turned it up on its side, because the parts that you want to get into, because of the configuration of this, you're gonna have to get into there and get those little bars real good. So if I turn it to the side, it's easier to do that. I also, first of all, make sure you put down some paper or something before you even start. Also, I had to, anybody, if you want to do this, you have to measure each part of your wood that you want to cover in glass, because you have to go to the store and get it, and they want to know your measurements up front. You can't take it with you. All right, so this is the top, and that's 34 by 34. So I can already tell you that Lowe's does not sell mirror that big. So you're gonna have to cut it in some type of way that it still looks good and not look like you threw a bunch of pieces together. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut it down and do 4 and just make it like a, I don't know, what is that? Tic-tac-toe? I don't know. I'm gonna make it 4. And make sure you get all of your areas. Remember your backs. You got all this little inside stuff there. You gotta put mirrors up in there, up in there. Now for places like maybe here, you can just do that in like just the paint. So, and for these, I'm not gonna mirror those. I'm gonna start with this part and I'm going to paint them and put some sparkle on it. So it's crazy, but there's a method to the madness, and so we'll get started. You ready? All right, I'm excited. So the first thing I'm gonna use is Rust-Oleum Metal Finish Bright Coat, silver. Works really well. Nice shine to it. So what you want to do first is spray all the areas that you want, but you have to keep in mind the areas that are going to have a lot of mirror over it. You don't really need all of that. You don't need to cover the whole area, just some of the area. So I'm going to get started on the inside. I'm doing the inside because it's going to be harder to get in there if I start doing the outside. I'm going to spray nice even coats. So I didn't want to bore you with making you watch every little spray I did on this. So trust me, I sprayed every part that needed to be sprayed. Just make sure your edges are sprayed good. Even though you're going to cover them, when you put whatever bling you're going to put on there, you don't want a brown base. So you want to make sure that, like I said, the parts that are going to be mirrored, don't waste your paint. Don't put it all over that. You don't need that. Just your the places that will possibly show through the bling, and you just don't want that. It's not a good look. So we're gonna let that dry a bit and then come back and do something else. All right, so I had to put some music on to put me in the mood. And what I'm doing now is spraying sparkle onto these pieces, and that way I don't have to put mirror on it. I can just, you can see that there, and I sparkled it. See the sparkle? So now these be nice and pretty and sparkly, and I don't have to put any glass or anything on that because those would be a little hard to do. These two areas here in front of these two little posts here, coming straight, I'm gonna put something else there instead of glass. So you wanna make sure you spray that part real good, get it nice and sparkly, so that whatever you put there will reflect at the bottom. This is the glitter that I use, Krylon Glitter Blast. It's very sparkly. Just make sure that you measure everything all over again, just to make sure. When you go to the store, they are going to want to know how many of this size, how many of that size. So what you want to do is, for whatever you're making, you want to do this. So like if you have 17 by 17 pieces. I want 4 of those. That's for the top, but I also need the same size for the back, but I only need 2. So when I go to the store, I'm gonna tell the guy, hey, I need 6 17 by 17s. He doesn't care what it's for or anything like that. All he wants is, I need 6 17 by 17s, I need 2 17 by 14s, and so on. So I'm back. I got my mirrors. Well, not back. You see I'm dressed differently. Yeah, that was yesterday. So today I went to go get my mirrors. And I went to Lowe's, and it was a very long process. It takes a while to cut all the glass pieces that you're gonna need for your furniture. But you have to be patient. Call ahead before you go, because their machines are sometimes broken, or they just may not have all the glass that you want, okay? Also know that the mirror is sold by the sheet. So they have like 30 by 36 or something like that. If you need a 30 by 20, you have to pay for a 30 by 36, because that's the size that it comes in. You cannot say, hey, I want an 8 by 10 sheet and pay a little $2 for an 8 by 10 piece of glass. You just can't do that. You have to pay for the entire sheet. So just know that before you go. I'm going to put the link on this video so that you'll know the exact glass you're talking about. Also know that the glass is very thin, very, very fragile. They will wrap it for you, but make sure you put a blanket or something in your car so that it won't break. You don't want to get home and you have a car full of crushed glass. Crushed glass. Oh, crushed glass. Yeah, make sure you don't have that. So, and when you're actually installing your glass on your piece, still, you have to be very, 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 very careful, because it can break. First thing you want to do is prepare to put your mirrors in. So what you're going to need to do is wipe up inside the area. Loctite PL 350. No, 530. Oh Lord, I turned dyslexic. PL 530. Okay? And you're gonna put it in one of these little doohickeys. You take your gun, go in there. All right. This sucker is hard. Take your gun, go in, just slather it all over the place. As far as I know, there's no actual way you're supposed to do it. I just put it in there and make sure you keep this cap covered or something will happen. I don't know what. So, have my glue in there. Here's my piece of glass. Lift this up. Pray that it doesn't fall. Okay, here we go. Oh, did I just cut myself? Oh, great. All right, hang on. Here we go. First piece going in. Get it out of the way. Okay. Try to hold it as flat as you can when you're doing stuff like this, because get it through as far as you can. I'm doing this by myself. Once you have it in there, you want to smash it down. Okay, so it's the next morning, and I went ahead and put most of the pieces on there. I didn't want to bore you with putting pieces on and I mean, if I put one on, then you know how to put one on, right? Yeah, so anyway, once you put them on, you want to weight them down with something. So I put weights, I'll take that one off. But you just put a little something on there to hold it down. So I have 2 more pieces to put on. One is back here, and of course the top. The top is gonna be the last thing that I do for any of it, because I don't want nothing to happen. I don't want to make a mistake and lean on it or do anything, because like I said, this glass cracks really, really easily. So we want to be very, very careful. All right, so I'm going to start putting on the sides and the top. I'll show you the finish, and then I'll start adding the bling to it. Piece that I needed for the back, they did not have it long enough in the store that I went to. I told you have to go to a million stores to get what you need. So instead of one long piece, I had to get 2 small pieces. So caulk that, stick this on here, make sure it's up under the lip, and smash it down. There. Oops, it's falling down. Okay. One thing that's very helpful to have is clamps. Clamps will hold it together for you. Okay, little things will help hold it up. So now time for the fun part. I bought these little things on Amazon. They're sticky backs. You have to pull the backing off. But anyway, I decided to run these around the full length of the table in various areas. And that's gonna start my blingy part of it. These are really hard to take off, just so you know, the backing part. Okay, I was lucky this time, but normally I have to get like a pin or something to separate it. So anyway, you pull the backs off like that, and before you stick anywhere, make sure you know what you're doing and how much you're gonna need. So I did this, and I know that I'm gonna need 3 rows. So I'm gonna take off 3 rows, and you just bend it back and forth, and it comes off. See? Okay. So, start it at the beginning. And I'm gonna go all the way across. All the way out here real good. Make sure it's nice and tight up in there. And it stays, it never comes off. It's very good. Wait a minute, you can't even see that, can you? Hold on, sorry. Yeah, so see, stays on. Doesn't take a lot to hold it. So then you get 3 more. I think this comes in like longer strips. I'm not sure. But if it does, then I suggest you do that so that you don't have to keep adding a bunch of them together. They fit pretty nicely into each other. So, I mean, that's not really a problem, but it's just easier if you can do like 1 long row. See that? And here's another one. But, you know, like I said, I'm not gonna bore you with you watching what I do a gabillion times. So it's several pieces of these that I'm gonna have to run all the way around. And so you get it, right? Yeah. Okay, so I put my mirror tiles on. Look at that. Very pretty, very blingy. Put it on the top, put them on the bottom. Now these things help, that's glass and under it, but these things help when, let's say your glass doesn't cut exactly straight, because that happens. Sometimes you can go to Lowe's and you can get some kid who don't know what he's doing, and your mirror will have jagged edges. Look at that. Didn't realize it till I got home. You know, but that's fine because I'm gonna put something there so it doesn't matter. But if you're gonna have a mirror that's just straight out, you know, you have nothing to save it, please make sure you watch the guy at Lowe's and make sure you inspect your mirrors before you leave the store. Okay, so the mirror tiles are on. Oh, one other thing, be really careful with these mirror tiles. I mean, they are very awesome and everything, but when you're taking them off, if you make a mistake, sometimes if they're in a strip, it might make a mistake and flip over like that. If it flips over, it sticks to itself, it's done, forget it. So just be really careful. And also be careful because the mirror is actually glass. It can chip, it can crack, and everything. So just be pretty careful with your mirrors. Okay, so now I'm gonna put my bling on. I got these at Michael's in the, I think, wedding section. So yeah, this is what they look like. Very sparkly. And I'm going to put them on with Mod Podge. And Mod Podge, I got that at Michael's, and they come with cute little spatulas to use. So you can pick the size of spatula that you're going to need for your job. They're cute colors too. Maybe they're supposed to be for kids or something, I don't know. So I'm going to take my Mod Podge and slather it into these creases here. You have to put a really generous amount because those things are kind of big and you want them to stay. I probably should have put something on my mirror, but too late now. I've already just made a mess. That's fine. I'll clean it up. So put all your little stuff in there nice and neatly. Okay, so I finished putting the Mod Podge in, and I found that you really should just dab, not brush. Okay, so that's done. And then you just drop your little doohickeys in there.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babel. Babel starts by teaching you words and phrases that
Okay, they're gonna fall all over the place, but whatever.
Babel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use.
So you just smash them in there. Try to get them as close to each other as possible so you don't have a lot of empty space. Don't want too much. Get that off there. Yeah, but you just drop them in, and it dries clear. It looks like I have diamonds. I'm getting excited. Feels like diamonds. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond, like diamonds in the sky. Yes. I finished putting the little diamond things on. I just, threw them all over the place like you do glitter. You know how you put glitter on, just put a bunch on and then just let it all fall off. Kind of big to be falling off. It's sitting this way. I can't like pick it up and tip it unless I actually pick up the table and tip it, which I guess I could do, not a problem. But anyway, once it dries, I'll get the excess off and we'll see how it looks. Okay, I put all of my little diamond thingies everywhere I want to put them. I put some down the bottom, put them up in the middle. There's my mirrored tiles. So that's how it's looking so far. Very sparkly. So tomorrow I should be able to finish up and put the top on. These little diamond gems that I got from Hobby Lobby, it'll seem like they're running out fast, but remember, you're sprinkling it on like glitter. So take the pieces that you take off and use it somewhere else. Because I thought I needed more than I did, and I really didn't. Because I was able to, and I put that there to just hold the mirror down. But anyway, it's almost done. And the place is a mess, sorry. But it's late and I'm tired and get ready to go to bed. But yeah, looking good. So when this dries, you want to lightly brush over it to take off the ones that are still loose. You'll probably end up with a whole nother pack. But just do it lightly. Don't push. Don't force any of them off, because that won't be good. So see, gorgeous, very sparkly. The paint is actually, the glue is actually still drying on it. It takes a while for it to actually become clear, but looks pretty good. Yeah, so it's coming along very nicely. Now the last thing we have to do is put our top on. So here it is. It is done. All pretty and blingy and stuff. For the top, I decided to put some mirror tiles along the sides because, and instead of putting 4, I just got one 30 by 34. That's the biggest I could get. And it left out 2 inches on each side. And I put it on without the mirrored tiles, and it looked kind of lonely, so I just decided to add the mirror tiles. So that's it. It's lovely. The 2 that I put up across the back, I put like another little row of mirror tiles there also. And my little blingy things inside, they turned out real cute. But really blingy. I need to clean this glass. Really blingy. So that's it. I'll do a before and after picture. This was fun. Hope you liked my video. Hope this helps you make something great. Sorry for saying so and awesome so many times. And I'm working on getting the quality of my videos better. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'll figure it out so that you guys will have a more enjoyable viewing session when you look at my stuff. Couple of things. You're gonna break a lot of mirrors. So just be prepared to run back to the store to get some more. Like I said, they're very fragile and they will break, so be prepared for that. Also, I almost killed my husband. He was trying to cut a mirror for me, picked it up, and it broke, and a piece of it lunged into his leg, right at his vein, and blood came spewing out like a broken faucet or something, like a pipe. And we couldn't get it to stop for a while, but finally, of course, he wouldn't go to the hospital because he's a guy. But we finally got it under control and he's good. So that worked out well. So when you do this, try not to kill anybody, especially yourself, and just have fun with it. This piece was a little hard, not my normal thing that I do, but hopefully you just got some general ideas of how to mirror furniture. So I appreciate you guys hanging with me. More to come. Remember, please subscribe and hit like and get notifications with the bell. Peace out.